Journing, ladies and gentlemen, Sogmians and Punaabs. Today we're going to go through the Greenader. That's right. On the last video, which you can find just up there, see? We were going through the Rainbow Arc. Today we go through the Greenader. And we're going to have a little rant today, a little rambling also, because there's a few interesting things on the Greenader. This is the last of our large ships now also. And then we move on to others, such as requested, the Fimbul Mamba, the Maiden Heart, and also, upon request, the Visas Ballad. But today, Greenader, and take a look at this. It's a big one. It's a beauty. It's a beauty. So where the R8 was a very long ship, really it was long from the fuel canisters, wasn't it? This one has the volume. This one's got the length, the width, and the height. And I can just imagine how fun it will be to explore around inside this ship. There'll be a lot to see, well, I think. But what do I know? We can't run underneath this one, I've noticed. But we try. That's as far as I can go, so we can't do the usual. But let's bring up the stats. We've got the Fimbul Ecos Greenader. It's a bomber, large class bomber. 58.5 meters wide, 72 meters high, and 130 meters long. So same length as the Ark. And this one is actually on the landing pad. It's touching. So these here are the not sure what you call them, the landing feet. And I assume that they rotate once the ship has taken off. Let's take a look from behind at the aft end. Nice. Pretty cool, hey? Pretty cool. So, shall we take a look at the description? No, we take a look at the supply. So, supply. There was a limited supply released back in October. That's a year ago now. Wow. So a year ago, it was released at 8,200 USDC, limited supply, and then the remaining supply at 9,185. But, of course, if you go to the marketplace, you may pick up a bargain. Not financial advice. Do your own research. Description now. Let's just get a better view of the Greenader. Take a look from the starboard side. There we go. The Fimbul, or rather Fimbul, is a supplier of exotic spacecraft that fits a need no other manufacturer can deliver on. Their Ecos line of ships holds the namesake of the righteous environmental faction known as the Earth-Conscious Ontological Society. Hey, peace dudes. The Greenader is fueled through sustainable byproducts of biodynamic agricultural harvests. In an undying quest to propagate the only true biome of humankind, Ecos bomber ships give might to the cause with highly destructive, low-orbit space bombs that rain down destruction on any well-defended industrial sprawl. Once these structures are terrorized, the bomb's aftermath releases terraforming compounds to restore to nature what was lost through the greedy pursuit of mineral riches. Wow, there is a lot to unpack here, okay? There's a lot of buzzwords. Ding ding, sustainable. So, let's have a look. Firstly, Earth-Conscious, of course, that's fine, Ontological Society. So these guys are philosophers. Yes, ontology. The study of being. I mean, even that's enough to fry your brain. Just the title of it, study of being. It's like, what is it to exist? What is reality? What is truth? Yes, to be or not to be, that is the question. as Shakespeare once said in Hamlet. So this isn't new, obviously. Ontology is part of one of the oldest philosophies, metaphysics.
Oh, hello, Lloyd. I heard meta. I know meta. It's from the Metaverse, yes?
Hi, Percy. Good to have you here. Well, yeah, of course. They share the same name, Metaverse and metaphysics. So we can kind of get an idea of where we're going here. Metaverse, VR, metaphysics, what is reality? My reality might be different to yours. Metaphysics, that comprises ontology, we've got epistemology, and we've got cosmology. And these guys, the ecos, are all about the ontology aspect of it, the being. But to be honest, they all kind of represent or overlap in many areas. Not that I know. Not that I know at all. But epistemology, the study of knowledge. That one's all about knowledge. What do we know? What is knowledge? And how do we know that we know it? Very deep questions that people have been pondering and wondering on literally thousands of years, okay? Not new. Thousands of years. This is Aristotle, Plato, all of that sort of stuff, with new people coming in over time, contributing their part. To be is to be perceived. You know, things like this. There's many different kinds of knowledge, you know. There's, you know how to ride a bike, for example. You know that. Now you can tell me how to ride that bike, and I will know also how to ride it. It doesn't mean I can. It doesn't mean I actually know. You've just told me, and I've regurgitated that. Things like this. So that's going to be interesting to follow ecos, I think. I'm going to see what their ontological views are and what their epistemological views are also. And let's hope they don't contradict each other. Let's hope it's well researched, okay, Star Atlas? Don't just use the buzzwords. You got to get yourself a doctor in the house, and actually get clued up on ontology. The last thing you want to do is contradict yourself. I guess if anyone's out there with a PhD, that would be a doctor of philosophy. PH is philosophy, D is the doctor. And I would imagine that this was one of the first things that you were taught about. Ontology, epistemology, maybe not cosmology. Space and time. Join me, Morgan Freeman, as I venture into the cosmos. So that's, so I'm just interested on that one. I'm looking forward to the lore surrounding the Earth-conscious ontological society. Earth-conscious, that's another one. And again, it's philosophical. I'm sorry, let's just turn this into a longer video. Ramblings about philosophy. Not that I know anything. So let's take Earth-conscious ontological society in space now. So now they're spacefarers. So right now we've got Earth. Think of Earth as our tiny little blue glass marble. That's Earth right there. Everything we know is in this is in Earth. Yeah. All the steel. Imagine how many cars there are on the planet. All that steel had to be mined. But Earth is only this big. Steel potentially would run out. I mean, it's logical to think that, yeah? Steel's going to run out. Of course, we recycle it, but some of it is lost through the process of recycling. Some of it's lost out at sea and, all that sort of stuff. Gold as well. There's a limited supply of everything. It's like Bitcoin. It's a limited supply. But it really is. It might seem limitless, but when you go out to space, go to the moon, turn back, look on the Earth, it's going to look quite small. Yeah. So, take your marble, blindfold yourself, get in a drone that's piloted by AI that's just programmed to go around, fly above the ocean, and all it's programmed to do is randomly go around the ocean, the whole ocean on the whole Earth, yeah, or the oceans. But hey, when we look at it from space, it's just one ocean. There's no borders. So yeah, you're blindfolded. You've got your little Earth marble. Your drone pilot is now flying you randomly around the ocean. And maybe a day later, maybe a year later, maybe 20 years later, at some time, maybe just 2 seconds later, at some time, you drop that marble into the ocean. Nobody knows what you were doing. Nobody has a clue. And you go to a friend and say, go and find that marble. Yeah? That's going to be quite difficult. You might be able to develop tools and things to help you find it. But still, it's going to be very difficult, isn't it? And that's kind of like, I imagine, space. Like, we are just a tiny little blue glass marble in a vast sea of rocks and other planets and suns and all that sort of stuff. So, I wonder, getting to the point now, is do you have to be so conscious of resources? Hey, I'm just putting it out there. Do we have to be environmentally friendly and all of this sort of stuff out in space? Or I'm sure there's dozens and dozens of planets very close by that are just rocks full of minerals that we can mine and harvest, and then after we've mined them, we can turn that whole planet into a farm. And then, we just take care of Earth. And hey, maybe that's the view of Ecos. Who knows? Because they are Earth conscious. They're not saying we are universe conscious. We're Earth conscious. So that possibly could be the thinking behind Ecos there. I'd imagine they have some deeper thinking on it if they're philosophers. But not only that, we're now moving on to the next one. Oh my goodness me. Get out of the way. Now get back here. Sorry, I didn't realise I had that on the whole time. Keesh. So the next one, and I'll remember to get rid of the Explorer now. The next one. The Greenader is fueled through sustainable byproducts of biodynamic agricultural harvests. Buzzword, ding ding, sustainable byproducts. Wowee. Yeah, so biodynamic agricultural harvests. Wow. Sounds impressive. What is biodynamic farming? Well, as we all know, Simba, when we die, our bodies become the grass. The antelope eats the grass. And so we are all connected in the great circle of life. That's right, that is Biodynamics Lesson 1. Yeah, it's just the law of return. You've got a plot of land. Instead of just harvesting or growing one crop year after year after year, which isn't sustainable at all. Everyone knows that. It's been done since the dawn of farming. Come on, guys. Basics. You're looking at your land in a holistic approach, okay? Which, again, has been done since forever. The law of return, yeah? So you grow some plants. Let's say you grow a carrot. You pick the carrot, eat the carrot, and maybe a day later you can return that carrot back to the land, if you know what I mean. But yeah, it's just returning everything that's taken from the land and putting it back in there, finding a balance. The natural order of things is not just a plot of land with some wheat on it. The natural order is a whole ecosystem, isn't it? There's animals that eat plants, put manure on the soil. so the plants can grow again. And then we get into the food chain, don't we? The food chain. You got down at the bottom of the food chain. Come on, guys, you all know this. You got your algae, nitrogen-fixing bacteria, rather, right down the bottom, tons of them. Then you got your algae, then you've got your plants, less of them, but still a lot of them. Then you move up, you got your herbivores. And what have you got next? No, you've got your omnivores, not your carnivores. Come on, get with it, guys. Then you've got your omnivores, which, that's what we are. Well, I guess unless you're Jordan Peterson and you're just eating beef all the time, beef and salt there, which I don't recommend you do. I don't think we're built for that. Hey, not nutritional advice. Do your own research. And then you've got, at the very top, you've got your carnivores. So they're at the very top. We're not actually at the top of the food chain in that respect because we eat a bit of everything, don't we? Which makes you wonder, where is the flea on the lion's back? The flea is eating the lion. Maybe the flea is at the top of the food chain. But you can go even further. You know, there's bacteria in the flea's gut that's designed to get its nutrients from the flea. Where do you stop there? There's a little poem about this, actually. Little bugs have lesser bugs on their back to bite 'em. The lesser bugs have lesser bugs, and so ad infinitum. Yeah. So, anyway, byproducts of biodynamic agriculture. So what would the byproducts of biodynamic agriculture be? I put that question to you, Star Atlas, because byproducts tend, if you're talking about biodynamics, you're returning everything back. It's a cycle. What would a byproduct of that be? Now, if we're talking about biofuel, where you're growing wheat, let's say, you're malting the wheat so that it's full of sugars, and then you're fermenting those sugars, turning it to alcohol, and then from there you're distilling the alcohol to make a very concentrated, pure alcohol. We could call that bioethanol. That could be a fuel, but that's not a byproduct, is it? That's the product, not the byproduct. Hey, I'm just rambling on here. But yeah, hey, biodynamics, it's been going for centuries, man. We all know, come on, it's basics. You can't just grow wheat over and over again every year. You need to return the nutrients. And so, through knowledge, ontology and philosophy, and through knowledge, we have developed ways of beating nature. Now we can grow crops year after year because they suck the nutrients out of the soil, but we know what nutrients they suck out of the soil. And so we can manually put those nutrients back on the soil through artificial fertilizers. Wow, we are so clever, aren't we? We are very clever. But with that knowledge, we've then caused bigger problems, haven't we? So now we've got the same crop growing year after year. It's susceptible to diseases. So now we're very clever. So we've come up with fungicides and pesticides to get rid of the diseases. And the viruses. But the viruses adapt. And they adapt. And we're very clever because we keep on making even better virus-killing fungicides and pesticides and all that sort of stuff. And we genetically modify or genetically select the grain that's resistant to these viruses. We are so clever. But it's just that's a cycle in itself. You're just going to kick the can down the road until eventually one day, where you've been growing wheat on the same field year after year after year, and globally we're all using the same type of wheat seed, 1 year, we're going to get a massive blight that's going to wipe out the whole entire world's crop of that year of wheat. That is why you don't want to just grow one thing year after year. Not only that, you're leaching all of this fertilizer, and all of these pesticides are now getting leached into the waterways. You're causing algal blooms in the waterways. You're killing all the fish in those waterways. So, hey, let's just take a step back. All of this extra knowledge and technology has actually caused a lot of problems. It's solved a lot of things. It's caused a lot of problems as well. So, why don't we just go back to the tried and tested, or to what we know is sustainable agriculture and biodynamics? I can tell you why. It's because we, the consumer, want everything for cheap. Yes, we want everything for cheap. So it's a very difficult one, isn't it? If I now on my farm I start growing things organically, not just organically, but through a biodynamic kind of vision as well, it's naturally going to increase the cost to produce. Maybe over time the cost will be comparable, but I've got to take quite a significant hit on my revenues to do that. And it's the consumer that decides which one they're going to buy. So, a lot of problems to discuss there. But maybe the ecos have solved those problems in the year 2620. And maybe those problems don't even exist, because we're not constrained in Earth anymore. We're now in 2620 in Star Atlas, in the Metaverse. What is reality? Is this reality? Or is the Metaverse? We could just take a whole planet and make that farm. Does anyone care? Really? You cannot comprehend the size of the universe. You can't comprehend it. I don't know what it is, but you look up at the sky now, from where you're sitting. Look up at the sky, yeah. Take 1 square inch of that sky, or 2.5 centimeters squared, yeah. Take that, zoom it in, and you're going to see thousands and thousands of galaxies, not stars, galaxies. And we know a galaxy contains billions and billions of stars, and we know how big a star is, and a star contains solar systems and all that. So you've got thousands and thousands of galaxies in there. That's just in that tiny little sample. It's just incomprehensible. So, does it matter about being sustainable in space? You tell me. Okay, well that was that. A bit of a ramble, a bit of a rant, but I don't know. I do find it interesting, at least. Maybe I'm the only one who finds it interesting, and I'm sorry if that's the case. And we didn't even take a close look at this ship, did we? So, if we take a closer look here, you can see these rams, hydraulic rams here. I'm assuming they're hydraulic. They may be pneumatic. What are they for? It looks like they can maybe only open. They can't close anymore. So, some sort of variable thrust there on the rear thrusters. Oh, look at this. Look at this. You see up here? We've got this, these ladders up here, and a doorway. That's interesting, isn't it? And I think if we go round the back here, you see the ladders go over the top there. We go over to this side. that's going to be cool. I'm going to enjoy getting on there, exploring around. Just make sure you double check before opening that door that you're not in space. You don't want to find yourself in space whilst opening that door. And the Greenader is a bomber. There's not many bombers in Star Atlas. Which, to me, would make them quite valuable. Hey, that's not financial advice. Do not buy on that note. Let's take a look now at the slots. Or the gallery, okay. Let's take a look at the gallery. Sorry, we're going on way too long here, aren't we? It's okay, we've got the time. I didn't do a video yesterday. Slots. We've got a large power supply, a large warp drive, a large radar, large tractor beam, large shield generator, an impulse engine, large, maneuvering thruster, large, 6 weapon hardpoints, medium. Excuse me, I had a tickle in my throat. 6 medium weapon hardpoints, missile bay, capital missile bay. That's cool. I like that. 2 countermeasures, medium. So pretty weak on the defense there. However, it's still a large shield and a large hull reinforcement. But a capital missile bay, I do like that. So it's going to be a heavy hitter. It's going to be, the classic bomber style, isn't it? Like a huge, slow thing that just kind of trawls in very slow. But if it gets over the land that you want to bomb, then it does devastating destruction. That's what I'm kind of gathering it'll be like. We've got a captain, pilot, co-pilot, engineer, 2 turret gunners, and then modules, a large ammo module, medium fuel module, and a large bomb bay. Nice. Yeah. And these bombs, as we said in the description, they release terraforming compounds to restore to nature what was lost through the greedy pursuit of mineral riches. Oh, very nice. So there we go. So even Ecos there, look, yeah, they could be they could undertake the greedy pursuit of mineral riches, because who cares? They just bomb it afterwards with the terraforming bomb and restore it back to nature. And I guess with the quarrying of the minerals, you could then even make lakes. So, hey, maybe it is a good thing to go out in space and start mining it all for the riches and the minerals, and then afterwards just bomb it with peace and love and rainforests. Hey, I'm all for that, for sure. I'm all for taking care of the Earth. Don't get me wrong. It's all we've got. So, a little bit different, that one. I hope it was enjoyable enough. It wasn't just really boring. And I think next we're going to go on to the Fimbul Mamba. So, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. I was enjoying listening to that, but it's a little bit boring for me, Lloyd. Please don't ever do that again.
Oh, sorry, Percy, but okay. All right, everyone. Ciao for now.